I sat down with over 100 AI agency owners on a live Zoom call for over 2 hours and answered the biggest questions people have that is stopping them from closing that next client within 30 days. This is everything from picking their niche to their pricing, their offer, to reviewing their sales funnels in their GoHighLevel setup, and then even their paid ads and their sales calls. I reviewed everything inside this call with over 100 people listening and asking questions, and inside this video you're going to see the best condensed version of it so you can get the most value possible and unveil what it might be that's holding you back from closing that next AI agency client. And I very rarely do these calls. This is like a few times a year maybe thing, and I wasn't even going to release this, but I thought there was a lot of value that I talked about in here that I wanted to give away here on the YouTube channel. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump into the video. Everyone should have a Q&A chat. So you guys, it's the way it's set up on Zoom is you guys can just ask questions inside of the chat. And I'm going to kind of go through a bunch of questions. Anything you guys have for me, I want to spend the time just kind of going through everything, because I know there's probably a lot of questions from 10 hours worth of a free course that's on YouTube. So I'm sure people have some questions about it all. So can I start an AI agency myself, or do I need a team? Do I need a closer? No, you can do it yourself, of course. That's how everyone starts. I mean, you guys can go back when I started. I didn't have no team. I was solo. That's how everyone has to start. How did you make your pre-call? 5 to 10 minutes long, a lot of rapport. The biggest parts of a pre-call video is you want to just nail expectations of the person who's going to be showing up to the call with you, right? So say you have a potential client or lead that's booked in with you and they have a call with you in 2 days, right? Right after they book on that page in the funnel, like I show throughout the 10-hour course, they get shot to that pre-call page. And that video, you want to have that video filmed by the person who's going to be taking the call. So in our case, Jacob is my closer. Maybe you guys saw him, and I posted like a big video of kind of showing all the agency and stuff I've been doing internally. We have him film that video. It wasn't me. It wasn't Wyatt. It wasn't anyone else, because he's going to be the one taking the sales call with them. So it's good expectations. And then throughout those 5 to 10 minutes, you want to kind of just nail like the biggest things, like show up to the call, make sure it's not a crazy loud environment or anything like that. Make sure everything's kind of like clean on their end. There's no baby screaming in the back. There's no bad Wi-Fi. They're in the car. None of that. Make sure they're at their desk with a pen, notepad, paper ready. And then kind of give them some context on how you help XYZ niche. So I don't know if it's real estate agents, whatever it is. Give some context on that, and make sure they get some value, I guess, in that, and so on. So it's not very hard to make it. Honestly, it could be 3 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. It's all fine. As a college student, how many hours should one realistically put in a day into consistency, success within an AI agency business? Starting off, like, I think when you start an agency, you don't really need more than like a couple hours a day. And the only reason I say that is because the most time consuming part of running an agency is taking sales calls and then fulfilling for clients, So if you're not doing those things and you're kind of still starting out, then it's like there's the only time you're really spending is either just trying to book sales calls or, maybe setting up back-end GoHighLevel systems and stuff. So on this podcast approach method you do throughout the entire podcast, you just ask them their pain. Like you of course go through their story, but you go into their pains, right? So you figure out, what are they struggling with? What are their goals? What's stopping them from hitting the goals? And now you kind of know everything about them and their business. And now you can structure like a follow-up call at the end of the podcast. You can say, hey, look, like, I know you said you had all these problems with not getting more leads and like booking sales appointments in your calendar. That is something we can help you with. We have a lot of other real estate agents or roofers that are just doing this like you. If we schedule a quick follow-up in the next 3 days, I can give you kind of a personalized offer or game plan going forward to make sure, you have like, you can get more help, right? And then of course they would work with you as a client.
I want to make my own chatbot to keep me focused, and I want to know how I can start selling it to other people. Do you think if I watch your video, it's going to show me exactly how I can sell it to?
Well, I'll ask you a question in return. Do you think, how long have you been at the like high ticket, just trying to make money? How long have you been in this like space?
Trying to have people join me, and I've been doing that too much.
My advice I'd give to you is I would go stick with something, watch something. I don't even care if it's my stuff, to be honest. You could go watch someone who you trust and stick with it. Like, you trying to do a bunch of different business models or a bunch of different things, it's never going to get you anywhere. If you're trying to do high ticket sales, AI chatbot, if you try to do everything, you're not going to be good at one, and you're never going to make substantial money. So I wouldn't have posted the video if I think it wasn't valuable. I wouldn't have spent like The video was like 11 hours pretty much, but it was more like 15 hours because I had to cut a bunch of stuff down, right? I wouldn't have spent 15 hours and all the probably over $50,000 to create it if it wasn't good. So I would say you do your own research, you could look into it, but you need to just stick with one thing.
Mhm.
If I can give you a piece of advice here, and on
What
calls
what do
like
you
this,
what's
like
some good
show up
advice?
prepared.
What should I stick with? Show up prepared. I got you. What should I stick with?
I mean, it's up to you to figure out. For me, it was agency. For you, it might be sales. Whatever you think you're good at.
I've been doing it for a year now, and well, every single one of them, it's been I haven't been able to get much success out of that.
Well, if you do something for even 2 to 3 months and you still haven't booked a sales call and like you are improvising, like after 6 months, I would have said this shit's not like I gotta pivot. I gotta try something else. Like
Mhm.
I still don't quite understand your like so you're doing emails. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I'll tell you with cold outreach what I think is working best right now. And again, like I'm not a cold outreach person. Like you guys, if you guys watch my 10-hour course, you guys know I run ads and I post organic content. That is
Mhm.
how I get clients, and everyone here can post organic content, right? There's over 100 of you on this call here. I expect all of you guys to be posting organic content if you guys are trying to close clients, right? So this could be
Mhm.
content on YouTube about helping real estate agents close an extra 10 more deals a year strictly through AI systems. And you can open up Lucid Charts exactly how I do on YouTube, draft something out that would be valuable for them, and at the end of the video, do a CTA to book a call with you. And then you could kind of get good at maybe clipping the video up, maybe making a thumbnail, and eventually you're going to build a an audience where maybe you only get 50 to 100 views, but those 50 to 100 views, if those are good qualified people that are be willing to buy from you, they would be an amazing person to watch your video because some of them will buy. Like there was a guy in my mastermind. He was posting videos. He was getting like 100 views per video, targeting solar companies, and he closed $18,000 of deals from a video that got 150 views, and it was just three people bought for 6K each, and they were just the right viewers. So that's my kind of
Mhm.
tangent on organic content. I think everyone needs to be doing it. Number two is on the outreach side. I think right now LinkedIn is probably one of the best places. LinkedIn is good. I think if you can figure out a way to do LinkedIn and you can do emails, okay. I think email would probably be the route I take, and I'd probably go at it with the podcast method, exactly what I was explaining earlier. So, should I create organic content on a specific niche or a broader scale? Good question. So, when you create any sort of content on YouTube, on Instagram, on anything, you need to have it be specific to your industry, and you need to address certain pain points that your audience and your potential clients would have. I'll give you guys the example of like I could post a ad on Facebook and Instagram that says free Lamborghini, click opt in. I'd get like 2 cents per lead. I'd get a billion leads for a super cheap cost, but it means nothing because they're just terrible quality. You're not getting the quality you want. So when you create content, you want to be super specific. It's the same reason on YouTube. I'm not going to go post content that says like, you know, some political, how Donald Trump won the election and stuff like that, because that's useless. That has nothing to do with me and my business. I'd rather talk specifically, and that goes for all of you. So be specific. If an agent says I already have a guy, what's the real reason they're saying no, and how do you push value onto GHL and the CRM caller? Not sure if I fully understand that. How do you deal with competition? I mean, if I'm going to give you an honest answer, if you're going into it and you're kind of the underdog and they've had more time than you in the space, I would look at everything they do right and I would literally pull the best parts from it. I'm not saying you copy them word for word and kind of be like that, no one likes copycats, but take inspiration from what they're doing and then bring that into your own agency because odds are they've probably tested a lot more than you and they've spent a lot of money to figure out what works and what doesn't. So you can shortcut that time, and honestly, competition's whatever. It's obviously a big thing in business. But don't look at it too heavy like that. How do you find commission-based setters? Um, if you want a good idea, so if you anyone in here is trying to hire salespeople, I'll give you some kind of sauce around that. And if you don't have like a personal brand or a network, what you can do is you can reach out to people that sell like sales training courses on Instagram. So there's a bunch of sales, high ticket sales training coaches, and like they sell courses on high ticket sales, etc. And you can generally get a lot of great talent from them that's trained up and that wants to be a setter or a closer by just DMing the person who runs the program or the course, whatever. And they'll just place someone in your business, sometimes for a small fee, sometimes for free. And the reason that is because a part of their offer as a high ticket sales coach is their kind of guarantee, I guess, or why their people are buying their program, for example, is because they place people into businesses. So they're actively looking for, agencies or businesses to place their trained up setters or closers into. So they'll sometimes just give you trained up people for free. So you can reach out and find those people on Instagram. So that's kind of a good idea.
Well, my offer when I was closing people was, okay, I'll get you 20 opportunities in the first month, or you'll just get a refund. Opportunities as in like leads and stuff, qualify them. So kind of just make the word a little bit more fancy to sound better.
It sounds so bad when you compare that to just 20 estimates. Why don't you just say 20 estimates?
Yeah, because the estimates, I guess all my guys are on $33 a day. So, for that, I think like if I'm running that ad when I'm getting clients, and I guess maybe that it's easier to get like more people who are willing to actually spend money when you run ads rather than just like calling someone and saying, hey, I'll run ads for you. Like, it's kind of hard to say, okay, pay me 1,200 and then 1,000 on top of that. So yeah, maybe like I should just, because I can get them 20 estimates, but I'd probably have to charge like 2,000 a month for ad spend and stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess the final things I'd tell you is focus on acquisition, run some paid ads. You need the right guidance, right? You need someone who's going to tell you, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. Here's what to make, here's what not to make. You already have four
Yeah.
clients. I would just reinvest the money you're making from those four clients back into ads, because then what's going to happen is every time you close a client, you can reinvest that money. It's going to feed your next three clients. That's the agency game in simple terms. It's just duplication. Like you close a client, they pay you, use that money, that money now fuels the next three clients, and then it duplicates. And it's like this,
Yeah.
it's like a virus almost, you know what I mean? So
Got it.
that's,
Yeah.
if I were you, I would really heavily reinvest into everything that's going to make your ads perform.
Yeah. And then,
And
yeah, I really appreciate it. I know I'm taking a lot of time. I guess the thing would just be like, don't worry about like having the perfect fulfillment, even for four guys. Like if you're running ads, just make your offer up and get more clients and then figure it out. But ultimately, like if you're delivering the leads, that's from what I hear, that's majority of what it is, the majority of what the fulfillment should be.
yeah, dude, like if you know that you're trying your hardest to fulfill and like you're doing what your job should be, then like that's
Yeah, I was
great.
actually doing that right now.
And an expectation I'll give you is just know, and this goes for everyone in here because everyone seems to get super concerned about this. Not all your clients are going to succeed, guys. Like you're going to have clients that are pissed. You're going to have clients that want refunds. You're going to have clients that are super unhappy. But that's like you want that to be a smaller percent, but just know that's a part of the game. We're not running 100% satisfaction business here. Like if that was Amazon, then like you know how many angry Amazon customers there's been. Like it's part of the game. Like we all sign up for it. It's a service-based business. You work directly with clients. Just strive your hardest to get results, but also know that you getting more clients is going to help you get better fulfillment as time goes on because you have more case studies, and that's
Mhm.
the biggest thing people miss.
And not like running ads for a better niche, like, oh, like, maybe concrete's not good enough. Like that's just kind of like excuses, like to be honest.
Excuses, dude. You're already making money. You know it works. I bet there's people making multi six figures a month in concrete.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, bro. I love your videos, putting in work, and you're young too, so that's very impressive. Appreciate that.
Much
Thank
love,
you.
dude. I appreciate that. Thanks, bro. So, would you recommend med spa niche? I mean, I'm kind of in that niche, I guess. Like I've been in there for a long time, I guess. Stem cell clinics, I guess, is a part of that, but it's a good niche. I'll tell you that. Why did you choose the stem cell industry? When you pick your industry, you want to look at a few things. You want to look at what's their sales cycle. So if you get them a lead, how long is it going to take for that lead to actually convert into a paying client of your clients? Okay. So like I'll give you guys the example of I worked with real estate agents, right? I would get them a lead, potential home buyer. It would take them 6 to 12 months before that person might ever buy. And a lot of the times they won't buy because it's someone making the biggest financial decision of their life. So that makes it really hard, right? Um, Another thing with stem cell clinics is they have a lot of money. It's just explained. They're generally pretty intelligent people. They're doctors. They are actually entrepreneurs. Like, they generally have credibility. It's just that's part's good. They don't really no show. They do no show meetings, but like
doctors, when they put something on their calendar, they kind of stick to it compared to say a real estate agent. I'm kind of bashing on real estate agents. It's a good niche, but I'm just kind of comparing. Um, and then I would say just those are kind of the biggest things, to be honest. And it's also very small. Like a lot of you guys would probably think it's a good idea to go compete with me in stem cell clinics, which I invite you to if you'd like. But also, it's a pretty high barrier of entry. You know, like I spend over $30,000 a month in ads just to close clients. Like it's a high ticket niche, very high ticket. You need a lot of money, and cold outreach isn't going to get you stem cell clinics, really. At least probably. Like it's going to be hard. So that's kind of the thought process. And then another industry I wanted to tell you guys that's doing really well right now, and I'm not trying to give you guys shiny object syndrome. So if you guys have a industry, you've already chosen it, and you have done your due diligence to figure that out, do not switch. I'm telling you right now, don't switch. But peptide clinics are insane right now. There's I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story just yesterday, but two guys in my mastermind making like 30 grand a month, I think, just working with peptide clinics. And that's partly just because peptide clinics have gone absolutely insane because of how many people who have been using peptides. So that's an idea. How did you go from a full addicted video game addict to so disciplined? With video games, when I played video games, it's kind of like you have to be disciplined to play video games a little bit. I know it sounds so backwards, but like if you're trying to actually get good at games, you have to spend and invest a lot of time, even though it might not feel like you're investing a lot of time because the days just fly by. You just you have to like continuously show up. So my thought process was I'll just treat uh you know online business, this whole business world as video games as well, right? Like it's the same thing. I essentially transferred all the energy I put into spending 14 hours a day on video games, and I just put that here. And I treat business still like a game, guys. Like if I would recommend for you to do that as well. Like I don't think it's a bad idea at all. Like if that helps you, then do it. Um, when you were $300 to $400 in ad spend and getting traffic, but no bookings, what exactly did you change first? The creative offer landing page. Generally, it's going to be your offer. As long as like landing page doesn't have too much, as long as your funnel is like standard. If you guys follow what I talk about, where I don't know, you have like a booking page, right? Is the first page you send traffic to from ads, then like by all means, like your funnel's kind of standard. It's not really the decision maker. It's generally your offer. Your offer might not be resonating, and also maybe just more spend. The offer and the ads. So creative and offer. But if the offer is good and you think it's good and that's what the competition's doing, then it's almost 100% of the time it's the creatives. So you want to be really testing a lot of creatives and making a lot of ads.
Like I've run like 4 or 5 sales calls. Just my close rate is absolute buns.
Well, number one, don't beat yourself up too much. Like that's not a lot of meetings, you know? Like we, I mean, we have on our calendar for our agency probably 10 to 11 sales calls a day, you know? So it's like we'll have a bad day where we won't close anyone or calls will go bad, like, and that's double the amount of calls you've had in total. So like, don't beat yourself up for that. But I'm sure there is a lot of places you could go better on the sales calls. So walk me through how you're approaching them. So let's say call starts. What's the process you go through?
Yeah, so it's basically just it starts with like report, like how are you doing? Where are you calling out from? Learn a little bit more about their business. I ask them like some qualifying questions, stuff like that. They usually
Mm-hmm.
answer them, and like I just talk a little bit more about that, and then I basically like set expectations on like what I can actually deliver. And one thing I think I can definitely improve on is like I'm basically bombarding them with these huge like slide presentations of every little feature that I have and what I can do. I feel like I gotta
Mm-hmm.
make like a little bit more simple so like they feel like they don't have to do as much work. But yeah, then
Okay. So call starts, you start with rapport. Then do you, right after the rapport has kind of like started and all that, like let's say that's about 2 to 3 minutes of kind of just small talk. Do you go into discovery? Do you sort of understand their pain points and their problems?
yeah, stuff like that.
How long does that last on calls on average?
Probably like a couple minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
And then how long is your sales presentation and the rest?
yeah, probably like 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Your discovery should always be either the same amount of time or longer than your actual pitch itself of you showing in the presentation.
Yeah.
Another thing around the presentation is I'll tell you what we do in my agency is we don't even do a slide deck. We literally, you guys know what you know what I'm talking about when I show like the lucid charts. You know, you've probably seen me go over a bunch of them. It's just the charts. We literally have a pricing option. We have a big fat $15,000 price point right there. We have like an emoji that says money back guarantee below it. And then we have literally like some deliverables above it. That's what we do. And then we just explain what we do. Our closer, Jacob, he'll go through everything. He'll show his screen after he's like anchored down, like, hey, does all this make sense? Do you think this is going to help you? Yes. Okay. Why do you think this is going to help you? Et cetera, et cetera. He'll pull up his screen. Boom, $15,000. He won't even show a slide deck or anything. He just literally explains to them over Word. And then if they want examples, he'll pull up his screen and he'll show some of our client accounts, our ad accounts, our other stuff. But if you don't have that obviously right now, then don't worry about that. But just go with these calls with a little bit more like, I guess, simplicity. Does that make sense? Like
Simplicity, confidence, like stuff like that.
Yeah, like what's the objection? Is it money?
It's usually no, it's not money. It's just like I'll get back to you later, and then they don't get back to me. And I don't know what it is, like seem too young, or maybe they
Okay.
don't trust me as
Sure.
much, something like
How old
that.
are you?
I'm 17.
17. Damn, dude. I'm feeling like the unk in this room. So is this how you show up to sales calls? Just how you are right now?
Yeah, pretty much, I guess. I'm trying to clean up the background a little bit more. Yeah, pretty much this.
Okay. Number one, don't wear a hoodie. It's like you look like a teenager. Like no one likes that shit. I'm not saying you have to show up with like a polo, but like you just wear what I'm wearing right now, right? Just a regular kind of t-shirt. Yeah. Next thing, of course, just like I would angle your camera so it doesn't look like you're in like it literally looks like you're kind of in like your mom's bedroom or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like I was there too. You know, you have to kind of work around it, but try to invest like $50. I talked about this in the 10-hour course, but try to invest in appearance. I think a lot of people don't talk about this. Dude, sometimes appearance is the reason someone will buy from you and not. Like if you just look,
It's
trust,
kind of bad.
like yeah, maybe get a haircut. I'm not saying you got to totally change it up, but maybe like, you know, get a little bit of a shorter haircut so it doesn't look like you don't want to come across too much like just high school teenager. You know what I mean? Because again, that screams exactly what these people are giving you objections over, which is no trust, no credibility, too young, doesn't know a shit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's probably a big reason why people aren't buying. And also, you're probably not asking enough questions on the discovery. That's what I was just saying. So, like, your discovery of them asking questions, treat that as you getting ammunition. You're trying to like get as much ammo as possible. So then once you go into the pitch, you can just fire a bunch back at them. Because the more deep you go into their pain points and their desires and their problems, the more you can almost use like you can like use your service as like a band-aid for them as you go on your presentation.
Yeah.
Like our intro kind of discoveries are generally about 20 to 30 minutes long. So if yours are 5 minutes, you need to be asking a lot better questions, a lot more questions, and have a reason to ask them. I used to just go through a big list of questions because I thought it sounded cool or it took up time. Go through it for a reason.
From your perspective, what separates people who succeed and those who don't?
It's generally time. So willing to spend enough time on something that like just not giving up. It's the most simple answer in the world, guys. But like if I gave up on month 5, I would have never gotten that first client in month 7 of my agency. Like you guys can look back at when I had no clients. Like I was pretty open about it. That's big. Another one is constantly focusing. So this is something my mentor tells me, and he mentors people that make millions a month. And that is focusing on revenue driving tasks. Like if we had to look at like, I guess Sam, for you, I don't know your whole situation yet, but like what's the thing that's going to help you make money? Almost everyone in this call, it's either outreach, organic content, or more paid ads. That's all we should be focusing on. If you guys have your backends, you know, high level setup, which again, I give you guys pretty much all of it in that 10-hour course. You have your niche, you have your offer, you have all that stuff, your pricing, then all you should be focusing on is getting clients. It's not focusing on results. It's not focusing on any of that. It's focusing on what matters to make money. And I'd say also, again, I'm going to be biased selling this because I do sell it, but paying people who are above you for help. It's something I've always done. I've invested well over like 6 figures at this point now into mentors, coaches, courses, all of it. But like, if some of you guys know, I have a business partner. His name is Wyatt. I met him in a course. You know, I wouldn't have ever met him unless I bought a course. You know, or it was like kind of like a mentorship mastermind group. I paid Jordan Welch. Some of you guys know him. I paid him tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. But my YouTube went from 3,000 subscribers a year ago to 35,000 subscribers. Like sometimes you do have to pay people for help. And it's hard, but it's the step you got to take to commit yourself. Because when you commit with money, generally you're going to commit your time because the money, it's enough for you to say, okay, I got to make it work now. So investing into mentors and coaching and help has always been stuff I do. It's stuff I do today. It's just at a kind of more expensive scale, but it's expensive in the sense that it's worth it. It's not expensive because it's not worth it. So does that make sense? And there's like three big things there, but those all were huge for me.
Once you scale, right? Like what amount of clients do you think you're able to handle like by yourself, or where you need to start thinking about adding people to your team?
I'd say probably right around anywhere from like 5 to 10K a month. You can start introducing maybe like a media buyer or an AI developer or someone to just start helping you on the fulfillment side of things. It could even be a VA, right, in the Philippines or something, just to kind of do those tasks. Once you're at like 20K a month, you could maybe hire out a CSM, client success manager. So you'd have a media buyer, a CSM, and then maybe a developer. So I have all three of those roles. Actually, yeah, 3 or 4 of those roles. I have Skylar, who's my client success manager. I have Martin, who's my media buyer, and then I have Emmanuel, who's my AI developer. You can kind of assemble that team yourself, and then after you have the back end done, I would then focus on outsourcing sales. Once you have enough calls on the calendar, a big mistake I think people make when they try to outsource is they outsource their sales front before their client success end. Big mistake in my opinion, because if you hire the wrong salesperson, you don't know how to train them. And if you don't have enough call recordings and call data of you closing clients, that's the thing that makes you money in the business. And if you make a mistake, which most people do on their first couple hires for salespeople, your revenue goes from, let's say, 10K a month to $0. And that is not worth it. You need to build out your client success end, and then predictably, as you get better in sales, you can train up the right person and give them the help they need to close on calls.
Okay.
Really good to meet you. Cool, guys. All right. Well, I think that's going to be pretty much it for today. Maybe I'll host more of these in the future, and I will see you guys on, I don't know, maybe my next webinar I host as like a webinar Q&A, whatever. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy your day.